will start 11 days from now. Friday, December 20th. Next Friday. And then we'll get 3 games on Saturday the 21st. Yeah, it's really that Saturday the 21st with 3 college football playoff games. Ravens, Steelers, and Chiefs, Texans. Oh, baby. Can't wait for it. But Friday the 20th, Notre Dame welcoming in Indiana. So great. Irish, Femi, a 7.5-point favorite. Total is 50.5. Winner of this game plays the maybe Carson Beck-less Georgia Bulldogs. We'll talk about that next hour. But for now, do you have any thoughts? Have you placed a bet? Notre Dame, Indiana next Friday night. Irish a little bit more than a touchdown fave.
Yeah, I love that we're getting an in-state rivalry going on here, Indiana and Notre Dame. For me, with this one, I think it comes down to the trenches. And it comes down to the line of scrimmage, and that's where I get concerned about Indiana. Now, I know like the scoreboard wasn't as kind to them as the actual on-field performance against Ohio State, but when we've seen them go ahead and play those like big boy kind of programs, Ohio State and even Michigan, who's not a good team, but like Michigan at least has good recruits, they score 20 points and 15 points. Now, here's Notre Dame that invests in the trenches more than any team in the country. Like if I had to bet this game, and I'm going to bet this game because it's a college football playoff, I'm going to lay the 7.5 with the Fighting Irish. Like, I think they have the clear advantage inside the trenches. Marcus Freeman scares me a little bit, but I think they're just too talented for Indiana. Great story. See you later. Fighting Irish, they roll.
That's a true story on Saturday. Oregon beats Penn State and covers, and I get the purple devil emoji from Femi. It's really annoying. I got it locked and loaded, and Femi's getting that purple devil emoji, and it's not.
Go.
Listen, I used to love in my single days getting the purple devil emoji. It meant great things. Now it means I'm losing a bet. It's not as fun now. We'll go oppo on this one, man. Great. Here's Marcus Freeman in a big game laying more than a touchdown. Is there any question that Kurt Cignetti is the better coach with extra time to prepare? Oh yeah, Indiana plus the points next Friday night. 6-seed Penn State hosting your team, 11-seeded SMU, hashtag pony up. The Nittany Lions off of losing the Big Ten championship game to Oregon, where Drew Aller played pretty well. Penn State, an 8.5-point favorite. Femi, the total is 53.5. Winner will play Boise in the Fiesta Bowl.
I would say that this is the first round game that I struggle with the most, just because SMU, like what is the ACC? Like, I don't think the ACC is very good. They didn't even win the ACC. It was Clemson that won the conference here. And like Penn State just has better players than SMU. Like, I don't think anybody's going to argue that. Like, you look at recruiting rankings, you look at the portal, all that stuff. Penn State is one of those premier kind of programs. However, you look at the sidelines on Penn State, and there's James Franklin staying on the sidelines. Do you feel confident? I wouldn't feel confident, but I still think that the talent at home might win the day in this game. Like, if I had to bet this game, I'm not even sure if I'm going to bet it because I don't feel that great about it, but my lean would be to the Nittany Lions laying the 8.5. These are our early opinions. I have reserved the right to change my mind, as does Nick, about any of these games. But for this one, I lean towards Penn State because I think that SMU honestly might just be happy to be here, because their whole thing was like, we need to get to the playoff and we're going to argue our way to the playoff. They got there. I think they might just be happy to be here.
You're going to hit them with a happy to be here?
I think they might be happy to be here, team. I think they might be.
Oh man, I mean, should we do the Nari Tog music, the happy to be here spot, first rounds of the playoff? I mean, is that what this is?
Hangover spot.
Let me ask you something. They lost. I guess you could be hungover after a loss.
Yeah, you emptied the tank in the second half.
I have a question. It's important. Jake, bring the music down for a second. I'll ask you to bring it back up. I have a really important question. Mm-hmm. Would you say that the first round of the college football playoff at home qualifies as a big game?
I would say it qualifies as a big game. Elimination games here on out, they're all big.
Pony up. SMU plus the points. I don't know if SMU is going to win the game, but I mean, we established, right? This is like those memes that come out. It's like, if this, and it all leads you to the same thing. Is it a big game? Yes. So what should you do? Bet against Penn State. I'll take SMU plus the points. Like, I love it. SMU plus the point. James Franklin laying 8.5 in a big spot. No way. SMU plus the points against Penn State. Jake, you bring the music back up here. We will go to the sandwich game.
Hold on real quick here. Because my only issue with that is that his team has a lot more talent than the other team. It's James Franklin. He could definitely screw it up. I agree. You know me. I hate betting on James Franklin. I love to bet against him. But like that's when he's playing Oregon. That's when he's playing Ohio State. When his teams, the talent level is equal. SMU is not equal in terms of talent to Penn State. That's where I think that still, for me, I would lay the 8.5 versus taking the 8.5. But, it is Franklin, and maybe I'll just have the egg on my face after fading him all season long and then ultimately betting on him and he just loses the game outright.
Well, I don't know if they're going to lose out. Like, that's where I would actually say I don't think they're going to lose the game. I think Adler's too good for them to lose the game. That line of thinking has gotten me in trouble a couple times this year. But again,
TD
to
pass he
Femi's
threw in the
point,
fourth was sick, though. It was a sick
he's
TD
awesome.
pass that he threw.
He's an NFL quarterback. But to Femi's point, like, those games were against Ohio State and Oregon. This is SMU. So do I like Penn State to win the game? I do think Penn State's probably going to win. Would I bet them to cover? Not with your money. Sandwich game, Saturday the 21st. What about SEC runner-up Texas hosting Dabo Swinney and ACC champion Clemson, like the Clemson Zombies back in the college football playoff? Initial betting move on this game, Femi, has been towards underdog Clemson. It's not a huge move, but Texas was 11.5. Now the Longhorns, a 10.5 point home favorite. Total is 53.5. Winner of this game goes to take on, I love how we were saying, like, Oregon's got home field, not home field, but geographically a good spot in the Rose Bowl. Mm-hmm. Arizona State's got to go to play the Peach Bowl in Arizona State's first game with the Arizona States, with the Sun Devils bye. So winner of this game goes to play Arizona State in the Peach Bowl on New Year's Day. Femi, what about Texas and Clemson?
So Texas, I laid 2.5 with them on Saturday against Georgia, and I watched that game just like I watch other Texas games, and I watch and I say Quinn Ewers is not a good quarterback. Like, that is my opinion when I watched him. And I think if you have a bad quarterback and you're laying 11 against a team that at least has, like, good players, I'm going to like the underdog. So I like Clemson getting the 11. I think Dabo will go ahead and play the underdog role if nobody wants you to be here. Like just go ahead and, like, motivate the team. Cade Klubnik, I don't think he's that good, but I think he's at least better than Quinn Ewers. Like, Quinn Ewers has a loaded team, has a great play caller in Sark, and it looks like that. Like, it looks like how it looks on Saturday. Like, the guy's bad. Unless they go to Arch Manning, if you can guarantee me Arch Manning's playing all 4 quarters, I'll change my opinion. But it's not going to be Arch, at least early on in the game. It's going to be Quinn Ewers. And at that case, I'm going to like the Clemson Tigers. BYOG, bring your own guts. Give me the 11 with the Tigers. I think Texas maybe wins by a touchdown, but Clemson stays within the number.
I just wanted to take the opportunity again, just to say, because I liked the underdogs in the first 2 games, right? Marcus Freeman, James Franklin, Steve Sarkisian, and Ryan Day, all as big favorites here.
More than a touchdown, all of them.
Hashtag just saying. I would never lay Texas. Never. It's Clemson or nothing, right? It has to be Clemson or nothing, no?
It has to be, yeah.
All right.
Has to be.
So
I think it's just Clemson. I don't think it's nothing. I think it's Clemson.
Okay, and I think I agree with you. Now, with that said, Femi thinks Texas will win. I also think Texas will win. And then, I think both of us will like Texas against Arizona State, but we can have that conversation if and when we get there. Last game on Saturday the 21st, and it's the big one. Ohio State hosting Tennessee. Obviously, we haven't seen Ohio State since the loss to Michigan, which Ryan Day emerged from his house since that happened. Ohio State, a 7.5 point favorite, but this is close to going down to 7. So Ohio State was 7.5 point favorite against Tennessee. Total 47.5. Winner gets Oregon in the Rose Bowl, Femi, on New Year's Day.
Yeah, I kind of like the side and total in this game, the more that I think about this one. I'll start with the side first. I like Tennessee getting more than a touchdown. I think the big mismatch in this game is that Tennessee defensive line versus the Ohio State offensive line. Like, now, this is August when Ohio State's completely healthy on the O-line. They can go ahead and dominate, but they're not. They're banged up. They're playing like third stringers. They've kind of had like this mismatched unit up front. And Tennessee, the biggest thing that they do, like the best thing they do, is defensive line. They're running at you with like 6, 7, 8 guys of rotation. I think that D-line keeps this as a lower scoring game. So give me the underdog, and also like the under as well in the game, under 47.5. So I like Tennessee +8 and under 47.5. as my bets for these games. I think it's a lower scoring game, ugly game. Who knows what the weather does out there in Columbus? Night game in late December. It could be yucky and ugly. Like, the Tennessee offense is not really lighting the world on fire either. So it could be yucky out there. Wind, rain, maybe snow.
Yeah.
Give me +8 and under 47.5. I like it. The Vols in the under.
Which quarterback do you like more?
Yeah, gotta say Will Howard, I think. Yeah, I'll say Will Howard. He goes up and down.
He is, but played well at the end of the season. Okay.
He did.
What do we think? You know, we do this sometimes in sports, right? I talked about it with the Yankees. Like, what happens in a Yankee playoff game if, you know, they're down 1-0 going into the bottom of the first, and, like, Aaron Judge strikes out swinging and Stan strikes, like, the boos are going to start, right? Yep. What happens if Tennessee takes a quick lead here in this game? What's the vibe going to be like in the horseshoe?
Fire day. Fire day. Fire day.
This is more than a touchdown. I'm going to love the Vols. Going to love Tennessee. Going to love the Vols.